Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream in the backyard here of Villa Feliz on a beautiful Sunday morning. Now, today's episode has to do with sculpturing. I don't know what your concept of sculpturing is. Some people think you take a model, maybe of clay, and you sculpture a face or a portrait or a design, but we're going to talk a little bit differently today about what our concept of sculpturing is. Maybe I need to even sculpture this. At least Ness keeps telling me that I need to. So that's what today's episode is all about. Now sit back, relax, and hopefully enjoy, and let's get today's video underway. Now, before we get started in today's episode, this is Sunday. Sundays are very special here at Villa Feliz. And how do I even know this is Sunday? Well, in a normal, typical household with a loving couple, normally during the week, normally you wake up in the morning, you look over, and you give a quick little kiss on the cheek of your spouse, and you say, good morning.
Good morning.
And you say, how was your sleep? Now, in our household, how I know when I know it's Sunday morning, instead of the kiss on the cheek,
it's
instead
waffle day.
It's make me waffle. That's how I know it's waffle day, and I know it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday. So anyway, what we do, we generally eat every morning here on the back porch, because 365 days of the year, when it's not raining outside, it's just lovely weather. Everything is green in the backyard. The Philippines is green. It is green 365 days a year. But on Sundays, on a special waffle morning,
when it's waffle day, it's his turn to make waffles.
It's my turn. It's my turn to cook. So we have the waffle maker out here. We have the waffle mixture here. We'll cook back here on the back porch. We have our favorite maple syrup from Canada, from Gerard and V. They sent us a bunch. And by the way, Gerard, if you're watching, and I bet you are watching today's episode, we're gonna need some more of that grade A maple syrup from Canada, and we will back pay you for anything. So if you're doing a bulk buy-in shipment, I want a case of this stuff, because once you move over here, who knows when you're going to be back in Canada again. Because once you get here, you're never going to want to leave. I'm going to tell you that right now. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and prepare. We have our coffee, we have our mango for and we have our eggs. So we're all set up for our breakfast this morning. After we get done eating, watching a little bit of the U.S. news here, then what we're going to do is we're going to start on today's episode. And again, today's episode has to do with sculpturing. And like I said, there's more than one kind of meaning to sculpturing. Sculpturing could be with some clay. It can be doing stuff in the backyard. It can be what Ness wants me to do, sculpture this off of my face right here. But we'll get into that after our breakfast. So you ready for some waffles?
So when you do the razor on your head, he's going to do the razor here too.
We'll see. Anyway, you ready for some breakfast?
Yes.
All right, let's get started.
I'm hungry.
All right.
Perfect.
Now, before we go out in the yard and talk about what today's episode is all about sculpturing, I want to show you some of those transplants that I did on the porch here. Some are pretty good successes. One is it's not a failure, but it's a little bit of a disappointment. So let's go ahead and look. The mango right here. Remember, I told you about the importance of pruning, of tipping off some of your mangoes, which actually will enhance or encourage flowering, and especially in the later days. And what it will do when it does the flowering, that's where you'll get your fruit from. But in the early stages, the earlier stages, what that will do when you prune early, that will help your shaping of your tree, and it will promote also expanding some of the branches. So I trimmed all the mangoes everywhere in the yard. We have 4 mango trees, 2 of them in pots and 2 of them in the yard. Now this one's in a pot because this is the one that I told you that I grew from the mango seed that I got locally here at one of the markets. And if I were to grow this tree right here in the yard, I could only have 1 tree instead of 30 plus trees that we have in the yard. And thank you for those folks who sent in your guesses for how many trees we have in the backyard. You're extremely very close. I think there was a guess that was 30 to 35 or something like that, and I think that's what I have. I don't even know the number because it changes all the time when I start moving these things around. So anyway, what I was talking about, what I want to show you here is when you trim or you do pruning, let me show you what happens that forces some of your flowering and forces some of your branching. Now here you can see when I prune this, you can see the new growth right up here and right up here. What this will do, this will flower out. This will make more leaves that will come out in this area. And eventually, if you had a bigger plant, what that would do, that would force some of your fruiting, some of your flowering, and you'll start getting your mangoes. I also did it to the small pico. This was a gift. This was a gift from my Rotarian brother from our Rotary Club here in Lipa South. This is from Mar, and Mar gave me this wonderful pico that was already inside like a small pot, and I transplanted it into this bigger pot right here. I think we're going to continue to keep him in a pot, and we'll try to produce some of the fruit from this one right here on our porch. But you can see when I trimmed it off right there, you see we're starting to get a little bit of flowering right here, or branching off, as well as I cut it off here. I should have made this little cut off a little bit higher, but you can see the little buds right here. We're starting to get some right here. As well, I wanted to show you this. Where I'm still working on my cucumber plants. Remember when we planted these seeds like about a week ago? Well, I want you to see how well this is doing, as well as some of our items inside of our ice cream, our little ice cream dish right here. We got the carrots, we got some cabbage, we got, I don't know what's inside. It's on our map. Remember we had the map. So this one is doing good. And I already pulled out the ones from here because we've already replanted these, and I'm going to plant something else in this area right here. Now this one, I have only a couple sprouts right here and one little plant right here. I have to go back to my map to see what these are as well. But for some reason, this is very slow. Now sometimes you just have to be a little patient, and hopefully things will come up. But sometimes you might have a bad seed mix, and if you have a bad seed mix, then they will never come up. So after a couple of weeks, if you don't see anything coming up, then you might want to start all over. But I can see, let's see, like I said, a couple here and this one right here. And these I just planted. I have 3 pepper plants inside here and 3 pepper plants inside here of different varieties. And I just planted these just a few days ago, so I'm hoping to see some green popping up, because pepper plants are generally very easy to grow and get started in a pot, and then you can transplant them into your garden. Now remember this guy, this was our little egg crate experiment over here, and this has, these are pole beans, these are the green beans like we have growing on the raised bed garden. So I have 10 that I'm using for beans, and out of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 that are growing, and I expect the rest of these to start popping up at any time. It's kind of odd. Some of them popped up the second day, some of them popped up like the 4th days. It's kind of crazy. And then these two, these were our fill, where we were filling water inside the bottom of the tray down here. I kind of filled them in, and I put a couple of little seeds that seem to be growing inside there. I don't remember what they are. It's going to be something good. I just know that. So that's working real good. And if you wonder why I saved these eggshells, I clean them after breakfast. I get all the residue on the inside because that's no good. But you can take these and you can break these up. And these you add as a complement to your soil. And what they do is they add some calcium to your soil. You break these up. You take these. You break these up with some of your coffee grounds, and you mix that up inside here. That's a real good addition and a complement to your soil. You see this? This is a papaya. This is a papaya from our papaya tree over there by the Bahikubo. We'll be eating this tonight or tomorrow. We'll make a smoothie with this right here. We had 2 of them like this that I just pulled off a couple days ago, and they ripe really quick when you sit them out in the open. So let's go in the backyard and talk a little bit more about sculpturing. Now, before we get off the porch and go into the backyard, I wanted to show you one more of the plants that are different from the mangoes over there. And this doesn't have to do with pruning, but this has to do with transplanting. Remember, this used to be over in the raised bed garden. This is our avocado tree. This is the avocado tree that I started from one avocado seed over in the apartment. Remember when I was living back in the apartment in 2017, at the beginning of 2017, we did an episode on this one. Well, when I transplanted it, it went into, obviously you can see, it went into shock. And we still have a few leaves, and we still have green, which tells us it's still alive. And I'm hoping that it will come back fine. Hopefully I start seeing some new growth of new leaves everywhere up and down. We're gonna try to take good care of this. We're gonna baby this avocado right here, and hopefully it will come back. I always throw some of my coffee grinds, and then I mix the coffee grinds in with my pots out here, because they're also organic and help with the soil condition inside your pots, or even in your garden. So we'll keep an eye on this one. It's not so far right now, it's not a bad story. It's not the greatest story in the world, but I share all the good things and the bad things that happen with my experience here, and I just wanted to show you this. Now, I will show you what I've been working on. I have not been idle over the last few days. Oh, you're probably gonna say, James, what is that? Well, that is the topic of my conversation today. That's the topic of our video. This is sculpturing. Remember, I had 1, 2, 3 things that look just like all these little round spots out here. But I had a dilemma. Remember, we always have dilemmas here, but we always turn a dilemma into something really good. We make a positive spin on that. So what I did is I made this little island right here. Here's our island, which I'm going to show you where I'm going to do on another step of our yard here. But remember, this is our apple guava. We've already gotten 3 or 4 apple guavas off of this small plant right here. And then I have, I don't know, a lime or some type of a citrus tree right there. And then we have the Indian mango here. And they were all on their own. But what I did is I sculptured out an island here. I sculptured this island and I raised it. This is sort of not a raised bed garden, but it gives a little bit of topography, a little bit of dimension. If we come down like this here, and it gives you a little bit of an interesting look in your backyard. It breaks up the monotony of all the flatness out here. So if you look at from any angle, it looks really nice. And what you can do, it's up to your imagination what type of plant you put in here. So I already knew, I have 5 of these sago palms. I love sago palms. I have many of them at our property in the US, and they're just beautiful. So I bought, before the quarantine, before we went into lockdown, I bought 5 of these from Edgar. Remember Edgar over in Rosario at his nursery. So I have 1, 2, 3, 2 over here for 5. And what I did, I want them to be accent pieces, because these will grow relatively tall. They'll grow about this big right here. And they make beautiful leaves on here, but you got to be careful because they're very pokey. They can really kind of stick into your skin, so you have to be careful with these. And this in the center is lemongrass. This is lemongrass, but I don't think we're going to leave this lemongrass here. This is just kind of temporary holding, and I have it inside a pot, one of the bags, to keep it from expanding too wide, so it will stay very focused in this one little area right here. But the lemongrass isn't going to grow that tall. It's only going to grow about here, and it won't interfere with the mango tree over here, and it won't interfere with either one of the sagos over here as well. So I decided I wanted these to fill in this area, and then we're going to put some nice ground plants around here, hopefully something with some color, like some of those ground plants that we did the other day around the border of the patio. So we're going to do that around here. We're going to put a lot of really neat plants inside here. But my dilemma is My strawberries are taking over this garden, and this is supposed to be a vegetable garden. But I have no room. But I do have lots and lots of strawberry blossoms, and I've been getting strawberries like this one right here. I've been getting lots of strawberries. Every day I come back. I don't get a lot because I think they're getting ready to start really producing. But I get like 2 or 3 strawberries, and while I'm working back here, it's neat. I just don't tell them this. I come back here and I pop a couple of strawberries in my mouth and just kind of chew them up because we don't really have enough to make a big strawberry basket. So they kind of help me while I'm working in the garden back here. But I need to give her a few strawberries, especially since today is Mother's Day. So the plan is I have to clean up this entire garden right here. I need to get rid of all these strawberry plants. I don't want them in here. I want a small area for strawberry plants, but I need to recover some space in here for regular vegetables like our melons and the cucumbers that we're going to put on the back wall and the watermelon. And I have all the other type of seeds that I'm starting to grow right now. So what I'm going to do today, the plan is to remove a lot, especially on that side, maybe that whole half of this over there. And then I am going to take the combo, the rice hull and the chicken manure, and I'm going to build it in. I'm going to beef up the soil over on this side. Then I'm going to, but what I'm going to do with all these strawberry plants, I'm going to put them over here. I'm going to put them over here on the island. And it will be so easy to put inside this island over here because it's very soft. This is a mixture of regular soil and our mulch mix on the top. So we're going to make this really green for a while. It'll provide some shade here for the ground cover, promote some of the growth that we have here. But the nice thing about strawberries, if you ever want to move them somewhere else, the roots are only about this long and they're very easy to pop up, especially if you have a good soil composition with a lot of organic material like we have here. So that's the plan. The plan today is clean up this area. We're going to move some of the strawberry plants over here. Then sculpting. We're going to talk a little bit more about sculpting, what we're going to do in another spot. We are going to take these 3 plants, and these are 3 more citrus plants. Remember our sun-kissed oranges that we got over here, our 3 sun-kissed oranges. This one, and this one right here. We're gonna make another island right here that looks just like the sun. So we are slowly building up basically the architecture of our backyard. Now this is where I'm going to be working today. Luckily, the sky's got some clouds in there, and I won't be sweating quite as bad. Plus, what's a good thing is remember we have that misting system up here in the top of the raised bed garden area. I'll have that little light misting going this afternoon while I'm working back here, and I won't be sweating quite so bad. It also cools the area off. The focus of attention again today for me is to clean up the raised bed garden, remove some of the strawberries, beef up the soil back here, add the additive, which is going to be that compost mix made out of rice hull and chicken manure. I also have cow manure too. I might sprinkle a little bit of that in later on. Also, before I get started, I just want to show you one thing. Remember our pow tree. This is the pow, and I want you to see. Can you see that beautiful little flower on there? And it's getting another one up here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if it's just going to be flower. I don't know if it's going to try to force a fruit. I hope not on this size right here. If it does act like it's going to make a fruit, what we'll do is we'll cut off the fruit. We'll cut off the blossom inside there. Because just like what you're seeing that I showed you earlier, the sun-kissed orange, that sun-kissed orange plant, that tree, that's the second time it's produced 3 of those really big sun-kissed oranges. Now, that is not a good thing to do this early in the stage, even as bad as it might seem to you and counterintuitive in your mind. You should really cut off all your fruits for the first 2 or 3 years. If you get any fruit production, even the first year sometimes you get it, 1, 2, and 3, you should cut off all of your fruit that you have that start early on any of your fruit trees. Why, you might ask? Well, the thing is, if it's taking all the energy that goes to those fruits inside there. I kind of left it on that one because it's a novelty for me right now, but for the next couple years after, on that one plant right there, I'm not going to allow it to grow any more fruit, because what you want to do, you want all your energy, you want all the energy for your tree to go to growth, to the limbs, to the trunk, to the leaves, to the height, and you want to be able to shape your new fruit tree. So that's what we'll be doing with that, and pretty much any of the other fruit trees that we have inside the backyard right here, and possibly also the pawpaw tree that we have inside. Okay, that's enough talking about that. Let me get to work. It's going to be a sweaty day today, and I will not put you through all that, and we'll close today's episode, and you'll see what I had completed during this afternoon's worth of work. Well, you can see I got quite a bit done today, although I didn't meet my objective. My objective was to churn up all the soil in here, add the additive, which is the composting, to this, and have half of this garden bed done today. It was just too many things going on. I can't tell you. I'm going to say a minimum of 150 strawberries I pulled out of here today, and I moved those strawberries over to the little sculptured island that we have over here. Now all the strawberries are kind of in a wilted condition. I just watered them, but it was a hot day today and they were wilted when they went in. Normally you wouldn't transplant any plant in the middle of the day, but strawberries are very robust and they'll come back fine. Hopefully in the next couple of days this will look just like these strawberry plants here. Now these strawberry plants that I have here, they will go on the upcoming sculptured island that's going to be done over in that area right there. So I'm going to save those. But right now, we're going to call it a day. I am pooped. I am tired. Tomorrow, what I will continue to do, I will come back inside here. I will get the weeds out. I will churn up, roll over all the existing soil, and then I will add the compost inside there, churn that up. And then there are some vegetables that I want to start inside there. Those cucumbers that are up on the porch that you saw earlier, we're going to put that in that area over there. Oh, look, I gotta show you these guys. Now, as you recall from my James and the Beanstalk episodes, these beans are going like crazy. Every couple days, I have to come back and take out these beans. What do we have? 1, 2, many, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're down here. They're back here. They're growing everywhere. I want you to see. They are literally everywhere, remember? And I know they grow. They got to be growing more than 2 inches a day. They have to be, because they just grow so very fast. And the thing is, what we're planting over on that end over there is not only cucumbers. We're going to be putting some more of these here. One of the reasons I'm putting the pole beans out here, you see this coverage with the leaves? I want to put all kind of vining stuff over the top so we have a little bit of shade. In the hottest part of the day, I would like to have some shade down on some of this garden inside here to give a little bit of relief to those vegetables that are sensitive to extreme sun, which is what we get here. So anyway, for tomorrow, get the shovel out, turn all this over, add the compost inside there, put a few plants down, and then we'll be done for half of this. I'm not going to do the other half of this until the new island is done over there. So I'm going to allow these to just sit here, and they are in a holding pattern. Now, something I want to share with you before I close for today. It's kind of difficult to get normal bags of fertilizer, at least for me. I haven't been able to find them. Normal bags of fertilizer like you would do at a lawn and garden shop in the US or North America. Someplace like Lowe's, Home Depot, one of the big box stores. They always carry the fertilizer for your yard. And it might be something like 10, 10, 10, 20, 0, 14. It'll be different depending on the different type of ingredients that are inside there, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and so on and so forth. So what I am trying to do, I'm trying to find a suitable substitute, so to say. So let me show you what I did the other day. I used some of the compost mixture, the cow manure or no, not the cow manure, the chicken manure, and the rice hull. Forgive me guys, it's the end of the day and I'm really tired. My mind is kind of in one of those spacey kind of modes right now. So anyway, I used some of the chicken manure and the rice hull, and what I did was I put it over a part of the yard that was kind of thin, and I used it as sort of a topper, and I want you to see what happened to that portion of the grass. Now, I'm not sure how good the camera picks up the color differences, but you see this area right around here? That area is where I put the topper. That's where I put some of the stuff from the bag. Not straight. What I did was I added soil. It's about 50-50 mixture. 50% topsoil along with 50% of what's inside the bag. And I want you to see what happened. Can you see? What kind of gave me the idea, if you look at each one of the little edges of each one of the plants around here, it has some type of a compost inside there. And you see the green ring around each one of those? So I got to thinking, well, if it's picking up some of the nitrogen from the compost inside there and it's making all of that, why can't I go ahead and do the same thing for a lawn fertilizer, since I can't pick up the stuff that I would normally pick up from my US big box stores? And so I tried. This is an experimental area, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to make sure that there is no issues with this. I'm going to continue to water this. But I water it all at the same time, but you'll see the difference. And if this comes out really nice, I'm going to probably broadcast it over the entire yard. Now, I certainly hope that Google Earth, the people way up in the sky up there that are taking pictures of the property, I hope they don't take a picture right now, because it's going to look like there's a bullseye in my backyard. I'd be so embarrassed if that showed up on a Google Earth map. So I hope Google Earth is not taking any pictures anytime in the near future. I would like the entire backyard to be nice and lush and green before the next flyover of the Google satellite for taking pictures. Okay, well, I'm going to close for now. I got to pick up all the tools around the backyard back here and get settled in. I want to relax this evening. It is Mother's Day, and I would like to wish all of you mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Hopefully, even with the COVID-19 situation going on around the world, you have people in your home, your spouse and your children, and everybody's taking care of you and treating you special today. So again, happy Mother's Day to all of you.
And I want to greet everyone, all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day! And what do you say, James?
Happy Mother's Day! Yay. Well, again, I'm going to close for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.